I am back from a wonderful trip to Disney World for the 100 Years of Wonder, and I'm here to talk about it and show you everything that I bought. So let's just dive right into it. Here we go. So for those of you who do not follow me or did not see my adventures on Instagram or TikTok, I was at Disneyland for 3 full park days and it was wonderful. Like, we had so much fun. The reason we went this time in February was because all 3 of us, my 2 friends, one who lives in California and one who lives in Texas, we have Magic Key passes that expire at the end of February, and unfortunately we are not renewing them. It just doesn't make sense for us because the next time we would go is maybe, I'm trying to go for my birthday in the fall. So I would like to go there for them, but I have nothing planned between that. And I think it's only worth it if I have 3 trips planned in the year, which I was able to do with my Magic Key this year. But basically, when we went February of 2022, we had a 3-day park hopper ticket, and we realized that we had another trip planned with a large group of us in September. And to get another 3-day park hopper was more expensive than the Enchant Key for the Magic Key. Unfortunately, you can only renew those Enchant Keys right now. You cannot purchase new ones, but that made sense to us. So because we already had that second trip planned, that's how we got our Magic Key. And then we decided to do one more trip because obviously, like, it's basically paid for besides your plane ticket and hotel, right? So that's why we decided to go in February. Unfortunately, it's right before Magic Happens comes back, which is the brand new parade that debuted like only a few times before the park shut down for the pandemic. That is coming back at the end of the month. And then Toontown is fully opening in mid-March. So we weren't there to see all of those, but that is okay. That is not why we went. We just went because we love Disneyland. And it was the start of the Disney 100 celebration, so we did get to experience that. Yes, technically all of the parks are celebrating the Disney 100 celebration, but the home park for the celebration is Disneyland. So the castle is decorated in Disney 100 memorabilia, not memorabilia, that's not the word I was looking for. All of the characters are Disney 100, and they have special Disney 100 shows like Wondrous Journeys, which is the new fireworks show, and World of Color 1, which is the new World of Color show for the Disney 100 celebration. I'll get to those in just a moment. But kind of to give you a lay of the land, again, we only had 3 park days, kind of almost 2.5 actually. So I flew in on Thursday morning and my flight got in super early. I had a wonderful direct flight into John Wayne, Santa Ana, which is the closest airport to Disneyland. If you have the opportunity to fly into John Wayne, absolutely do that. It is a 20-minute Uber ride from the airport. It is just so quick, so easy. And we stay at the Hojo Anaheim, which is the Howard Johnson Anaheim. That is only an 8-minute walk from the parks. It's wild. Now, Disneyland is so much different than Walt Disney World, where they only have 3 on-property resorts, and travel agents are actually able to book good neighbor hotels at Disneyland, whereas they cannot at Walt Disney World. So the Hojo is the one I always recommend if you're staying off property to stay at, because they do have, like, they have an updated building. They're so accommodating, so nice. It's a nice pool for those who enjoy like a pool adventure. I don't, but to each their own. But I just love the convenience of it. I walk right by a McDonald's, so I go get a Diet Dr. Pepper every now and then on my way into the parks. Or on the way back, you get a little small fry and a Diet Coke, whatever you prefer. We just love the Hojo. This was like my 4th or 5th time staying there, and it's a great experience every time. I get to the Hojo at like 9:15 in the morning, and I was like, my friends weren't getting in until probably noon, and I had everything I needed ready in my personal bag because I knew I was getting there so early. And when I checked in, I was like, I know it's not ready, so I'm here to just give you my bag until the room is ready later. And they're like, oh no, a room is ready at 9:15 in the morning. It was incredible. So I was able to go into the room, put my stuff away, freshen up in there, and then walk over to the parks. And my first thing, I love to do just a loop of Disneyland. I just love to like walk around, check out what the specialty pretzels are at the pretzel carts, check out what the churros are at the churro carts, walk in and out of the merch shops, and just like absorb Disneyland. That's like my favorite thing to do the first thing I'm there. And then when my friends got here, we basically took Thursday to be pretty chill, especially because we're adjusting to West Coast time as well, and I had to get up so early that day. When we got there, we just kind of walked around. We did have reservations at the Magic Key Terrace, which is at Disney California Adventure, special for Magic Key holders. If you, only one person in your party has to be a Magic Key holder, but they have really nice small plates and really nice cocktails that overlook Pixar Pier and things like that. So it's really lovely. This is also when we decided to do like single rider for Radiator Springs Racers, because famously it is not part of Genie Plus and it only has individual lightning lane, which can cost a decent amount per person. But the single rider line always goes pretty quickly. It was only about a 20-25 minute wait. So we did that because we love the ride and we do not need to ride with each other. And honestly took it chill, because the next day, this is what is different than my trips to Walt Disney World, is we did a full park day. We did rope drop, 2 fireworks with Genie Plus, and did as much as we could on that Friday. And it's so nice. That is why it's nice being still on Central Time, because I get up at 6 o'clock at the latest, because that's 8 a.m. Central Time. And we were walking in the parks by 7:55 and the park opened at 8. Like, we didn't get the early entry because we're not on property, but honestly, we didn't need it. We started at Disney California Adventure, and let me tell you something about DCA at Rope Drop. She is empty. There is no one there. It's incredible. It's just such a special feeling, because famously the locals don't typically get there until mid to late morning. So getting there right at 8 a.m. when the park opens, especially at California Adventure, it's an incredible experience. So I will talk all about what we did for our Genie Plus, what attractions we picked, how we navigated that, what we did. It is a lot easier than Walt Disney World, and I think I've said that before, but next week will be my video talking about everything that we did on our Genie Plus day. I will say that the one thing that we wanted to do during this day was go to the Lamplight Lounge Boardwalk Dining, which is Cove Bar. Like, it's always going to be Cove Bar to me. So they do not take reservations. Lamplight Lounge, the restaurant, does, but we did not want that. We wanted the upstairs Boardwalk Dining. And so it opens at 11:30, or this day it opened at 11:30. So you have to be in the vicinity to join the walk-up list. And right when it opened at 11:30, a little bit after, because the cast members are the ones who like manually open the wait list on your app, we were able to get in, and it's at an estimated wait time of 10 minutes. We were like, perfect. We just wanted some lobster nachos. They have like special nachos that they only serve up at the boardwalk, and then some drinks, obviously. And like 15-20 minutes later, we get a text and it's like, oh, just kidding, we're actually closed for the day. Like, we were like, what? No idea why. They just did, and they did not open the entire day. We could get drinks to go at the bar up there, but we could not sit and eat, which was kind of a bummer. So later, my one friend was leaving that night, and so we wanted to get nachos because that's like our favorite thing to do together. And we kept trying for a last minute reservation at Lamplight, the restaurant, and we ended up getting one for like 5:45, 6 o'clock. And at this point, we were exhausted. We were so tired. We sat at Lamplight, and like this view that we were seated at was incredible. Like, I keep saying incredible, I know. But we sat there for over 2 hours, just like soaking it all in, feeling the feels, and also we were just exhausted because we just had a full day of Genie Plus attractions going back and forth to the parks, because we started at DCA, then we would go over to Disneyland, then we'd go back to DCA. It was just, ugh, it's tiring. But you know what? It's so easy to do because they're right next to each other. And then we were like, well, our friend Jill was only there for that night, and she really wanted to see World of Color, which was at 9 o'clock. And Wondrous Journeys, the fireworks show, was at 9:35. And we're like, well, World of Color 1 is 22 minutes long, and it will probably take 10 to 15 minutes to get from our spot at World of Color onto Main Street to watch Wondrous Journeys, because you have to go and like scan your ticket at the Disneyland main gate too. Well, at 9 o'clock when it was supposed to start, there was like a Lunar New Year World of Color happening that was 6 minutes long. And like, that's wild in and of itself. Like, Epcot would never create a special fireworks show for a 3-week long festival. Like, not something that I'm accustomed to. And it was a really cute show, but it cut into our time. So we watched World of Color 1, which was really, really great. I do like the actual World of Color better, but I lost my mind at the Lion King scene in World of Color. If you have not watched it, look it up on YouTube in full length. It's amazing. World of Color is one of my favorite shows, so if you have not seen actual World of Color, also just go and watch that. But we watched most of it, and in the middle of the finale, that's when we decided to skedaddle. Like, in our spots, we did not have the best viewing area. Typically, you can join like a virtual queue on your phone to get a better viewing area. We did not do that because we were like the closest to the walkway that you could possibly get. We bolted over there. I don't even know how fast I was walking. I was like, and we finally got onto Main Street, and it was like maybe like a minute and a half after Wondrous Journeys started. This fireworks show, Wondrous Journeys, maybe the best fireworks show I've ever seen in my life. Maybe the best show. I truly do not care about the fireworks because they only do fireworks at Disneyland for this show right now, Fridays and Saturdays, because they're in the city of Anaheim. There are neighbors everywhere, so they're always so respectful of neighbors. And even if it's just a little bit windy out, they will not do fireworks. So their actual schedule is just Friday, Saturday, and then they'll do the projections every night, no matter what. And they do these projections not only on the castle, all down Main Street, and also on Small World. So there are so many places for you to see these beautiful projections. But granted, they do have, spoiler, Baymax flies above the castle. And so obviously only if you're on Main Street in front of the castle-ish, you can see Baymax. It's harder to tell if he's flying if you're all the way back by Small World, but just know that that's a thing. But no, this show was everything you would want about a Disney fireworks show that is celebrating 100 years of Disney. They had scenes from Treasure Planet and The Rescuers Down Under, things that like are never ever shown in any sort of celebration of anything, which is just crazy. But the part I lost my marbles, literally just jaw on the ground, because I did not watch any spoilers before I saw this show. There is a scene where it starts off with Belle singing Belle Reprise, and then it cuts to Hercules singing Go the Distance, and then it cuts to Moana singing How Far I'll Go. And they arranged all three of them to be singing at the same time. I was sobbing. And then at the end of it, Quasimodo comes in and starts singing Out There. And then all four of them are singing together. I am not kidding. It was the most beautiful moment I've ever seen during a show. I was unwell on Main Street, USA. Please go watch it if you have not. Or if you are saving for a Disneyland trip, I wouldn't have mind watching it before. Just because I was like, that was me on Main Street looking at all the projections. So maybe it would have been better for me to actually watch it beforehand, but that's okay. And that was the end of the night. You see it closed at 10, which is interesting. But Disneyland Park closed at midnight, and we did not, midnight is just not an option for us. It is rare that we stay out past 9 at Disneyland. Again, just because that's 11 our time, and we're just not used to it. And we prefer mornings over evening time at Disneyland. Again, that's just a preference. But the next day we decided to rope drop again. And what I love to do when we did not do Genie Plus this last day, is rope drop all of the Fantasyland attractions, because many Fantasyland attractions do not have Genie Plus. So I'm talking Snow White's Enchanted Wish, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Pinocchio's Daring Journey, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan's Flight, Storybook Canals, all of those. Well, I guess I forgot to mention Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway did open in Toontown. And both Thursday and Friday, we were successful at getting the 1 p.m. virtual queue. When we went on Thursday evening to do our virtual queue for Mickey and Minnie, there was no wait in the actual queue at all, which was very rare, because the next day the line was so long because the ride has been breaking down like a lot. So when that happens, you get a bunch of people who either have to leave the line or have to wait until their name is called and then go back into the queue. So the queue just gets incredibly long. But they won't even let you back into the opened part of Toontown unless you have that virtual queue option. So you can't even go back and take photos on the Toontown grass and all of that unless you have a virtual queue. Anyway, sorry. But that's what we like to do first thing in the morning. When we are not doing Genie Plus, that's when we save all of those. Pirates of the Caribbean in New Orleans Square also does not. So we were able to just truly walk on to those attractions. If we wait, it's 15 minutes at most. So that is how you do it. And honestly, at that point, we did everything that we wanted to. There was nothing that we have not done yet that we wanted to do. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was pretty great. We take our midday hotel break and then came back at night and basically just like walked around Disneyland and then grabbed a spot at Jolly Holiday, which is hard to do. You can see a bunch of Disneyland locals who like try and find a spot to sit at Jolly Holiday Bakery to wait for Wondrous Journeys. And they're little vultures. They like stand there and they're like, "Are you leaving? Are you leaving? Are you leaving?" And they'll stay on there for hours waiting for you to leave. And people aren't, because they're like, well, I have my grilled cheese and tomato soup. I'm just gonna sit here so I can sit and watch the show. Granted, did then people who have seats at tables stand during the show and then we couldn't see the projections on the castle? Yeah, that was annoying. But it was such a fun trip. Disneyland is on another level, and I think it's my favorite. Well, Disney World is obviously my girl. Like, she is my family. But Disneyland is like the cousin you never get to see. You know what I mean? Well, Disney World is like my sibling who, like, yes, I see them a lot, and I always have a good time with them. But like Disneyland is like the cousin that you only get to see at Christmas time, and you always have such a fun time. It is. But anyway, it was so great. And I did get some things, so I'm going to share them with you right now. The first thing being, it was the Lunar New Year celebration, and I've never been there for Lunar New Year. And so it was so great. Like, we got to meet Oswald. We did not get to see Hortensia, which was a bummer, but all the characters were in their little Lunar New Year costumes. They had parade, lots of food and drink booths, which were great. But Magic Key holders got to go and get this Lunar New Year pin, which was so cute. You see it has Oswald and Hortensia. It is Hortensia's first time ever meeting in a park in the States. Again, we did not get to see her, which was a bummer, but we got to meet Oswald. And it's been a while since I've seen Oswald. I think the last time I met him in the parks was 2016. So it was always fun to see him. But I did get this little pin, commemorative pin, which I really liked. And then the next thing I got was, I wanted another sweatshirt. I always want so many sweatshirts. But I got this Disneyland one. It's just a big white classic one. And they also have this for Walt Disney World. They also have it in gray and blue. But I like the Disneyland logo better. I think it just looks better on apparel. Well, I was about to show you more merchandise, but my camera or memory card is dysfunctioning, which is why there was not a video last week. So I'm going to try and figure that out hopefully soon. But for now, let's record on my phone to show you the rest of my merchandise. Okay, now we will go into the Disney 100 merch. Now, I know this is not exclusive to Disneyland, but because we were there, I knew I wanted to get some stuff. Starting with this enamel pin. I just wanted to get the classic Mickey and Minnie. There are tons of different Disney 100 pins if you are a pin collector. I just really liked this one to put on my very little pin board. It's not big at all. Granted, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, why do I have 3 Disney World 50th pins? Why do I need 3 of them? Anyway, I just thought that one was so sweet. So I got that one. Next, it was something I did not see, and it was not on my list going into Disneyland, and it's this cute little Tinkerbell Disneyland tee. It's a little bit cropped, as you can see, just a little short, but not too bad. In going into Disneyland, I needed something to wear when it was the warmer part of the day to go with my black and white polka dot ears. And I saw this and it was perfect. I did get it in a size medium. So if you're interested in how that looks on me, I did post a photo of me in front of the castle wearing it, so you can get an idea for sizing wise reference. And then the next thing I had on my list, I wanted to get these Disney 100 ears. As you can see, it has Mickey and Minnie on them in their little Disney 100 outfit. I just love the ears on this too. I think they're really, really sweet. And then on the back, it says 100 Years of Wonder. I did not get this to wear, though I did wear it for a picture while I was at Disneyland, but I got it because it's an ear hat and I can put it in my office somewhere. I just thought it was really cute, and I love the lavender. Disney World's 50th celebration was so confusing when it came to color scheme. Like, I'm like, are we navy and gold? Are we a shimmery iridescent purple and blue and something that like, no, it was so hard to outfit plan for that celebration. So I loved the color scheme for Disney 100. Very simple, silver, lavender, dark purple, black, white. We love it. And then the last thing I got apparently is a hot commodity. When I went to first go look for it, I walked into the Emporium and the cast member was actually like taking them out and putting them on the racks. And it was this jacket. I thought it was a windbreaker. It's not. It's much thicker. But like, look, the front is so cute with Mickey on it. And then the back has this really, really cute design. The Disney is embroidered. And then there's a little Tinkerbell. I got a size medium in this. It is a little bit oversized, but that's how I like to wear it. But they were right, because when I grabbed this at like 10:30 in the morning, I left and came back to the parks around 12:30, and I did not see them the rest of my trip. They were gone. They were $69.99 before discounts, I think. I'm not sure. But I know it is also at Walt Disney World. It was probably on Shop Disney at some point, but I have not looked lately, to be honest. But the funny story about this jacket is, so yes, it's the Disney 100 celebration. Everybody's celebrating it. So Target, who has Disney stores, they had it either in stores or online or whatever. But my sister was just at Target yesterday and she actually found this jacket in their sales section that was marked down to like $31. And it's, if you go to the Target app, or at least I did today, and it was sold out, like it didn't even show you that it was on sale. So maybe like those who are returning it, then they mark it down immediately. I don't know. But I just think it's so cute. I just love it. It's so great. But that's all I got. I really didn't get a ton. I had a few things on my list and then a few things that just ended up in my possession. But thank you for staying with me through this technical difficulty. That is why I did not have a video last week. I'm hoping to get this situated and we can get some videos out moving forward. Hopefully it's just my memory card and not my camera. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Share it with friends. That really, really helps. Next week, like I mentioned, will be an in-depth video on Genie Plus at Disneyland. One day, what we did, everything we did, how we fit everything in one day that we possibly wanted, and what our plan of attack was. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys again, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!